What is going on, YouTube people? New York Cards and Comics here. Well, on the heels of all the Victor Wembanyama, this is curtains for Panini nonsense, we finally have the preview images for Topps Series 1. Right off the get, I will just say it, I kind of like them. I think they look kind of cool. Remind me of, I think it's like, what is it, 86 that had the black tops and the white bottoms on it. They didn't have the blended, it was more of the hard cut, but I kind of like this design. I think there's a few things kind of talk about on it. To me, I said this on Twitter, this feels like a design that was made for Chrome. I think they look fine on paper, but I really think like a refractor of this, I think is going to look really, really good, and potentially some of the parallels. And someone else was joking about this. Like if we don't get, you have to imagine we're going to get some neon light parallel where the neon lights are refractored or something. I don't know. They come out with all sorts of wonky stuff. These do seem like for paper, for Series 1, that these are probably going to be a tough grade. I know like base cards, whether or not you should grade those, that's either here nor there, but like on the SPs, the SSPs, that sort of stuff, anytime you have black on a card, it shows everything. And corners and edges are a little more finicky on a paper product versus chrome. So I could see that being an issue. Also, with the border like that, centering's going to stand out a little bit more. Now, the initial image that they released had really wide borders, and then they came out with these ones later in the day that had the appropriate width borders. It looks like a regular border on the card. The first version that they put out had a really thick border on it. So, like I said, quite frankly, I like the look of these quite a bit. Curious for your thoughts and comments down below. I mean, this looks way better than like a Prism design, in my opinion. And I actually like this a lot better than some of the recent Topps sets. Though most of the 2020 stuff, I guess, has been pretty okay. But I do like this one quite a bit. Now, we don't have a checklist yet, and that will be the interesting part on who's all included in here. Obviously, Ellie is going to be the face guy to get things started off. I think Evan Carter is in here as well. The one that we're not sure about is Jason Dominguez. And then, you know, what kids get called up this year obviously is not going to be in this product. So some of that stuff will get saved for Series 2 and update. What I am really fast forwarding to is starting to wrap my head around is Topps Chrome, when it comes out later in the summer, could have a very strong checklist potentially. I was talking to Filmington about this, bouncing some stuff off him. You know, you just kind of look at it, and once again, we don't know who's all going to be in Series 1 yet, but Chrome is usually a combo platter of those. And that could be a pretty good checklist. You know, you're going to have Ellie, Dominguez, Carter, Destrorio, or Holiday get called up early enough in the season to make it into Chrome, or they end up being in Chrome Update, or does Topps pull some nonsense like they did with Ellie De La Cruz? I mean, in all honesty, Ellie De La Cruz should have been in product last year. It's kind of a joke that he wasn't. But where are you all at with Series 1? Are you going to be buying a ton of it to rip, to stash, to hold, to open, retail, jumbos, hobby? We don't really know pricing yet or anything, obviously. I had a really good run on 2023 Series 1 jumbos there. That's obviously recency bias and, like, you know, luck of the draw, and I happen to pull well, and, you know, all the nonsense that goes with it. But I'll probably pick up something depending on price points on this stuff and just kind of see, you know, what it's all about. You chase the SPs, the SSPs, that sort of stuff. So I'll probably rip at least one thing for the channel, maybe a couple. I don't know. If boxes come out like reasonably-ish priced, depending on jumbos, maybe I'll grab a couple of them and rip a couple of them. I don't know. You know, you're really just chasing the parallels on the SPs, the golds. The base rookies anymore really don't hold a ton of value. Though, if these are tough to grade, if you get something super clean, it might be worth trying it. Once again, I think these are going to be pretty tough with that black top on it to potentially chase this down. But we finally have the Series 1 design. This was delayed for a while. People were kind of wondering where this was at. There was some drama over the SPs and SSPs not being included, and then we got clarification that they would be, so everyone calmed down about that. We don't know what the inserts are going to look like yet. They haven't showed any of that stuff either, but I'm mildly excited. Like I said, I like the design. To me, this is more about Topps Chrome than it is about Flagship. Like I said, I think this design is really going to pop in a Chrome card. And like I said, at the top, it's kind of funny that we get this, and I'm sure this wasn't intentional. We got this on the heels of the Prism Basketball Victor Wembanyama design, that just a day or two later that they come out with this. And for the most part, it seems like people are pretty okay with it. I've seen a lot, like if you just read social comments and trying to get a vibe for stuff, it does seem like people are a little hit or miss on the black tops with the white bottoms. Like on the Ellie card, it looks great because he's in a black jersey. Like that looks really, really good, in my opinion. For a base card, they picked a great image with the black jersey, plays off the card perfectly. Take notes, Panini. On the other stuff, like the Trout, I don't think it looks bad. On the Houston one, it looks a little awkward. I guess I could see certain teams, certain cards, maybe this not looking the best. I don't know that I would like it with an all-white border, though. Like, I get it. That's kind of the more classic design on some of the stuff, at least of late. I think I like the two-tone, personally, like the fade from black to white. But that is the one thing I have seen consistent feedback on, is that people are a little hit or miss on the black top, white bottom, or they would just kind of like it all one thing. It would be intriguing if they ever went all black. It would be a nightmare for grading. The other thing I like, and I don't know if we could see it here or not. It doesn't. This is not a great example of it. I saw one floating around where, and maybe it was just a test image, because I noticed these aren't doing it. It was a picture, and I don't remember where the image was at on it. It almost was like popping out of the card, because like the way he was throwing, the elbow like went above the team logo, and they put the elbow above the team logo, like it was actually covering the team logo up. And I actually think it looked kind of cool. Actually, I just found it right here. Here's what I'm talking about here. You can see on this Senga how, his throwing motion, the way that they framed it, his arm goes over the border of the card, and they actually printed it on top of the logo. I actually kind of like that, where it's covering up the team name a little bit. It like this almost looks like he's popping out of the card at you, the way that they have that. So I'll be curious to see if they do that with others, because like I said, on the preview images, like the Ellie, the bat goes behind the logo. I get how some people are probably not going to like it covering up the team name at the top. But to me, like I said, it just looks like he's coming at you almost. Like it looks like almost like a 3D card where he's literally popping out the card at you. So I'll be curious to see how this plays out. Is this just like a misrepresentation image, or is this more what they're going for? Maybe if it's something minor, they're laying it behind that team name. But I would kind of actually be intrigued if they do it more like this, because like I said, I really like the way that kind of pops out at you. We'll have to see once we get more images leak out and once boxes come out. I believe this product releases on Valentine's Day. So you and your significant other, you can go out, have a nice dinner, have some drinks, and be like, hey, let's go home and rip some Series 1 to set the mood for the evening. If that doesn't do it for your significant other, then, I don't know what you're doing in that relationship. Curious for your thoughts, as always, down below. Do we like this design? Mixed, meh, love it, hate it? Where are we at? Catch you boys and girls on the next one. Peace.